My entire life, I've faced challenges as a man of color in predominantly white spaces. I became aware of the importance of community as it relates to diversity, equity, and inclusion at Quinnipiac, and specifically how someone who looks like me and comes from where I come from can have an experience that changes their life and the lives of others. I'm Austin Ashe. This is my story. As a high school student, I didn't know what I wanted to do when I graduated. I went to a voc tech school, and there was this saying, you get a trade, have it made. I considered a trade. However, by the time I reached senior year, I knew I still wanted to learn more about the world and be exposed to different people and different ideas. So I made the decision to go to college. Before coming to Quinnipiac, I had never visited the campus, but when I arrived, I instantly fell in love. I had high ambitions that I was going to be on MTV or some superstar, but I didn't have clear direction. I started out as a communications major and was drawn to the focus on writing and expression of ideas. Going into my sophomore year, I took a few psychology classes and found it fascinating. My professor, Larry Levine, inspired me. His lessons and style inspired me in a way that I began to see becoming an educator as a path and decided to double major in both communications and psychology. Higher education doesn't always provide people who are marginalized the opportunity to be their real selves. It was people like Professor Levine and administrators like Manny Carrero and Cheryl Barnard that provided me with mentorship. Manny and I often spoke, and in various ways he taught me that education alone wouldn't be as valuable without the experiences one has throughout their life. Cheryl provided me the opportunity to find parts of my potential through becoming an orientation leader. The orientation program taught me the impact I could have, working on a team, self-discovery, being good stewards for other individuals, being socialized into this new environment. So I guess I can say that orientation was the linchpin into exploring a career in higher education. After graduating from Quinnipiac, I headed to Springfield, Massachusetts to get my master's degree in student personnel administration. A few years later, I was at a conference and Manny was there. I asked him for some career advice. What part of student affairs should I jump into first? And he said, if you want to be a vice president of student affairs one day, you'll need some residential life experience. Shortly after that conversation, I accepted a job at a college in Boston, working in residential life, helping first-year students become adjusted and acclimated to college. Manny was right about res life. It afforded me a 360-degree view of student affairs and other insights into higher education. I progressed through several roles in higher education. One of those roles led me back to Quinnipiac for a few years to fundraise and create community for QU's young alumni. It was nice to work on diversifying our engagement of alumni across various dimensions. It was also nice to come home and be close to my mom, my brothers, and my grandmother. Unexpectedly, the best thing about those 3 years was meeting Helen, a former QU basketball player turned coach, and the person I am so happy to spend the rest of my life with. Currently, I'm the Senior Associate Director for Culture and Belonging at a top university in Boston. As I near the completion of my doctoral dissertation, I look back on how I got here, the experiences I had at Quinnipiac, and the people like Professor Levine, Manny, and Cheryl who offered guidance all along the way. When I got to Quinnipiac, I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with my life. Today, I'm finally able to understand my experiences and empower those to contextualize theirs. I'm Austin Ashe. That's my story.